Have you ever wondered what it would be like to grow up as a member of the British royal family, with all the privilege and attention that comes with that role? Now, imagine having to cope with the loss of your beloved mother in front of the whole world. That's the reality that Prince Harry faced, and in his memoir, Spare, he takes us on a journey through the ups and downs of his life, from his struggles with grief and mental health, to his experiences serving in the British Army, and ultimately, his decision to leave the royal family in search of a happier and more fulfilling life. Spare is a deeply personal and insightful account of one man's search for meaning, and it's one that you won't want to miss. Are you curious to learn more about Prince Harry's personal journey, and the lessons he's learned along the way? Well, you're in luck. In this video, we'll be bringing you a complete summary of Spare, the new memoir from Prince Harry. We'll delve into the key themes of the book, from grief and mental health, to love and finding purpose, and give you a sense of the powerful insights that Harry shares throughout. If you enjoy this summary and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming book summaries and other content. And if you're eager to read Spare for yourself, be sure to pick up your copy today to experience the full depth and richness of Prince Harry's story. In the initial chapter of his book, Harry looks back on the day of his birth when his father, Charles, expressed his delight in having an heir and a spare after Harry was born as a contingency plan to donate organs or blood to his brother, William. In his memoir, Harry refutes rumors about his father's paternity and the speculation that James Hewitt, one of his mother's lovers, was his biological father, stating that the rumor was fueled by sadistic tabloids who fixated on Hewitt's red hair. Additionally, he shares that even his father had made a tasteless joke about it once. Harry compares his relationship with William as that of the spare and the heir to the one between his great-aunt, Princess Margaret, and his paternal grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. He mentions his lack of fondness for Margaret, who he pitied and found intimidating. At school, Harry had a crush on the attractive matron, Miss Roberts, but made fun of another patron named Pat, who had physical disabilities, and clarifies that she did not make the students feel sexually aroused. Harry also talks about how he was informed about his mother's death by his father early in the morning when he was 12. He notes that many adults, including his maternal uncle, were horrified by the idea of him and his brother walking behind their mother's coffin. Harry refused to allow William to walk alone behind the coffin, as he believes his brother would have done the same if their roles were reversed. For 10 years, Harry believed his mother was in hiding to escape press intrusion, and William used to have similar thoughts. He criticizes the summary conclusion of the investigations into his mother's death as simplistic and absurd, and questions why the paparazzi who were following her and those who sent them were not in prison, suggesting that corruption and cover-ups were involved. Harry claims that he and William were planning on issuing a joint statement to ask for the investigation to be reopened, but they were dissuaded. During his trip to Paris for the 2007 Rugby World Cup semi-final, Harry had a man drive him through the same tunnel where his mother died at the same speed as her car. He later admits that he asked for help from a woman who claimed to have powers to connect with his mother. In his autobiography, Harry delves into his teenage years and opens up about his drug use, as well as his deployment to Afghanistan. He candidly admits to experimenting with cocaine at the age of 17, although he didn't find it particularly enjoyable, but it did make him feel different. He also shares a peculiar story about getting high on cannabis and believing he saw a fox as a sign from another realm, and even visualizing Meghan as his future wife. He goes on to recount taking magic mushrooms and drinking tequila at a party hosted by Courtney Cox, which led to some intense hallucinations and bizarre conversations with inanimate objects in a bathroom. Harry mentions how Rebecca Brooks, the editor of the now-defunct News of the World, was determined to uncover evidence of his drug use, and he holds nothing back in criticizing her, calling her a loathsome toad and a terrible journalist. According to Harry, his brother William and his then-girlfriend, now wife, Catherine suggested he wear his Nazi uniform instead of his pilot uniform to a native and colonial costume party in 2005. Harry mentions that he was fond of Catherine from the first time he met her and thought of her as more of a sister than an in-law. He also reveals that during his time serving in Afghanistan, he participated in 6 missions that resulted in the deaths of 25 Taliban fighters, whom he did not view as individuals but as chess pieces that had been taken off the board. He clarifies that while he did not feel satisfaction at the number of deaths, he also did not feel ashamed about it. In his memoir, Harry opens up about the complicated relationship he and his brother, William, had with their father's lover, Camilla Parker Bowles. He claims that both he and William had agreed to welcome Camilla into their family under the condition that their father did not marry her. However, Harry alleges that Camilla sacrificed him for her own personal PR purposes and leaked details of a conversation she had with William to the press. According to Harry, this caused William to feel tremendous guilt for not speaking up about their father's affair with Camilla, and he had long harbored suspicions about the other woman. Harry goes on to describe how William was left confused and tormented as a result of the affair. Furthermore, Harry asserts that Camilla played a role in his mother's death, stating that she was pivotal in the disintegration of his parents' marriage. He recounts his first encounter with Camilla, describing it as feeling like getting an injection, and adds that Camilla was bored because Harry was not Charles's heir and therefore posed no threat to her desires to marry his father. Despite this, Harry confesses that he ultimately wanted both his father and Camilla to be happy, wondering if she was less dangerous being happy. In addition to discussing the complexities of his father's relationship with Camilla, Harry also reveals some intimate details about Charles's life, including his experiences at Gordonstown, where Harry claims his father was bullied and almost did not survive. Harry even delves into Charles's attachment to a teddy bear, which helped him through Gordonstown and remained one of his favorite objects as an adult, serving as a symbol of the essential loneliness of his childhood. Finally, Harry also asserts that Camilla turned his bedroom at Clarence's house into her own dressing room as soon as he left. Harry reveals in his book that he considers his role as best man at William's wedding in 2011 a barefaced lie, since he did not give the reception speech. Instead, James Mead and Thomas Van Straubenzee gave the speech, which Harry felt was the right decision as he might have said something wildly inappropriate. Harry also shares a personal story about experiencing frostbite on his genital area during his trip to the North Pole and being advised to use Elizabeth Arden cream, which reminded him of his mother's scent. He further alleges that William was tipsy on rum hours before his wedding. In the memoir, Harry talks about dating Caroline Flack for a brief period after breaking up with Chelsea Davy. However, their relationship was ruined by press intrusion, which he believes was irredeemable. Harry also dismisses tabloid rumors of him having a relationship with Cameron Diaz. He expresses his disbelief in the British public's tendency to believe such baseless rumors. Prince Harry has recounted an altercation with his brother, Prince William, that took place at his home in London in 2019. In his memoir, Harry described how William called his wife, Meghan, difficult, rude, and abrasive, which he believed was a regurgitation of the media's narrative about her, which often quoted anonymous royal insiders and palace staff. Harry expressed his disappointment in his brother, saying that he expected him to be better than to repeat the press's narrative. However, the conversation turned into an argument, and the tension between the brothers escalated. Harry attempted to de-escalate the situation by giving William a glass of water, but William allegedly responded by calling him another name and physically attacking him. Harry was caught off guard, and the altercation happened very quickly. William grabbed Harry by the collar, tearing his necklace, and knocked him to the floor, where he landed on a dog's bowl that cracked under his back, cutting into him. Harry was left dazed and shocked and told William to leave. After William left, he later came back looking remorseful and apologized to Harry, advising him not to tell Meghan about the incident. Harry was taken aback by William's denial of attacking him, as he was grabbed by the collar and knocked down during their altercation. Harry didn't immediately disclose the scuffle to his wife but spoke to his therapist instead, explaining how it felt different from their usual physical fights as boys. When Meghan eventually noticed Harry's bruises, he came clean to her about the situation. Although she was not surprised, she was deeply saddened by the news. It is no surprise that Harry describes William as both his beloved brother and arch-nemesis in his memoir. In his book, the Duke of Sussex recounted an incident where he claimed that his brother, Prince William, had made fun of his deteriorating mental health. Harry revealed that after delivering a speech, during which he nearly fainted due to his agoraphobia, William came up to him backstage and began laughing. In Harry's words, "Harold, look at you. You're drenched." Harry was taken aback and couldn't fathom his brother's reaction. He stated, "Him of all people. He'd been present for my very first panic attack. With Kate Middleton." The Duke of Sussex went on to explain that he had been an agoraphobe, which was nearly impossible given his public role. He recounted another incident where he was in the back of a Range Rover with William, driving out to a polo match in Gloucestershire with Kate Middleton. During the journey, Harry was struggling with his anxiety, and he wanted William to pull over so that he could catch his breath. William had noticed Harry's distress and asked him if he was okay, but Harry was still hurt that William would later tease him about his condition. Harry admitted that he was also at fault for the deterioration of their relationship. He stated that both he and William should have recognized the seriousness of his mental health struggles, especially since they had previously discussed launching a public campaign to raise awareness about mental health. However, he was disappointed that his brother would mock his anxiety and be so insensitive, considering he knew something bad was going on with him mentally. In his memoir, Spare, Prince Harry opened up about a particularly heated argument he had with his wife Meghan, in which he detailed how he had become disproportionately, sloppily angry with her over something she had said. The Duke of Sussex revealed that he became touchy and oversensitive during the conversation, and attributed this to the stress he had been under from battling the press, as well as the wine he had consumed that evening. Harry went on to describe how he snapped at Meghan and spoke to her in a harsh and cruel manner, which caused the room to fall silent and even made the music seem to pause. He admitted to feeling guilty and ashamed of his behavior, saying, "As the words left my mouth, I could feel everything in the room come to a stop. The gravy stopped bubbling, the molecules of air stopped orbiting. Even Nina Simone seemed to pause." Meghan reportedly disappeared into their bedroom for 15 minutes before emerging and telling Harry calmly but firmly that she would never stand for being spoken to like that. She then asked him where he had heard a man speak like that to a woman and whether he had overheard adults speaking that way when he was growing up. Harry felt uncomfortable and cleared his throat before admitting that he had, which made him feel even more ashamed. Despite the intense emotions that were present during the argument, Harry revealed that he and Meghan were able to move past it and work on their relationship. He wrote that the experience taught him a valuable lesson about the importance of confronting his own flaws and working to be a better partner to his wife. Harry revealed that he had an embarrassing incident on the day of his first date with Meghan Markle. He was participating in a racing competition at sea with no access to a toilet and ended up wetting his pants. He also expresses regret over searching for Meghan's intimate scenes in the TV series Suits. Harry recounts a confrontation with Meghan during which he became very angry, leading her to insist that he seek therapy and stop such behavior. According to Harry, his brother William advised him to slow down the relationship as he believed it was moving too quickly, but Harry believed that his late mother had helped him find Meghan. Harry also discloses that the Queen asked Meghan to select a tiara from her private collection for the wedding, but later, the Queen's dresser Angela Kelly refused to lend them the tiara, citing the need for an ordnance and police escort. After several attempts to contact Kelly, Harry claims that she finally appeared and gave away the tiara but with a warning look in her eyes. According to Harry, there was a disagreement between Meghan and Catherine over the flower girl dresses, with Catherine believing that her daughter Charlotte's dress needed to be completely redone just 4 days before the wedding. He claims that Catherine texted Meghan, saying that Charlotte had cried when she tried on the dress because it was too big, long, and baggy. In response, Meghan told Catherine that she was dealing with her sick father, who wouldn't be attending the wedding. Catherine agreed to take Charlotte to Meghan's tailor, but when Harry got home, he found Meghan sobbing on the floor. Harry believes that Catherine had no harmful intentions and even visited them the next day with flowers and a card to make amends. Additionally, Harry recalls a conversation about the wedding rehearsal timing that involved Meghan telling Catherine, who had recently given birth to her youngest child, that she must be suffering from baby brain because she had forgotten a detail. Meghan later apologized at a tea party at Kensington Palace in June 2018, according to Harry. Finally, Harry blames the household of his father and stepmother for leaking the story of Meghan and Catherine's argument to the media. In his memoir, Harry provides fascinating details about the signs that led him to realize he was going to become a father. He recalls a time when Meghan was singing to a group of seals during their trip to Tonga, and according to Harry, the seals sang back to her. This unusual incident, Harry believes, was a sign that something extraordinary was about to happen in their lives. Another sign came when Meghan took 2 pregnancy tests and left them on his nightstand, where he kept a box of his mother's hair. Harry found it comforting to have his mother's presence with him during this special moment, and he couldn't help but think of how Princess Diana would have reacted to the news. When Harry learned that he was going to be a father, he thanked the seals and his mother for their blessings. He also reveals that he and Meghan shared the news with other members of the family on the day of Princess Eugenie's wedding. Harry then goes on to describe the birth of their first child, during which he used a canister of laughing gas to stay calm. Later on, he talks about the painful experience of Meghan's miscarriage in 2020 and how they had to say goodbye to their unborn child. Harry describes how they went to a secluded spot, under a banyan tree, where he dug a hole with his hands and buried the tiny package. It's clear that Harry's journey to fatherhood has been full of ups and downs, but his love and devotion to his family shines through every page of his memoir. Harry revealed that growing up, he faced rumors that his true father was not King Charles but Princess Diana's former lover, Major James Hewitt. According to page 6, Harry recounted how his father enjoyed making jokes about his parentage and would end them with philosophical musings about whether he was really the Prince of Wales or even Harry's real father. Despite the circulating rumors, Harry described the jokes as sadistic and unfunny, and he believed they were another cause of the speculation around his paternity, in addition to Major Hewitt's red hair. Harry speculated that the public enjoyed spreading rumors that his father, King Charles, was not his biological dad, but he never discussed these rumors directly with Harry. Harry thought that perhaps people found comfort in thinking that even a young prince's life could be the subject of ridicule, despite the fact that Princess Diana did not meet Major Hewitt until after Harry was born. In addition to this personal matter, Harry also claimed that Charles had planted stories about his brother William and his sister-in-law Kate's family, which made William extremely angry. Harry recalls a phone call with William where his brother expressed that he had had enough of the negative media attention that had been brought on them by Charles's communication team. Despite William's frustration, Charles was allegedly unapologetic about the situation and denied any involvement. When William decided to confront him about it, Harry went along to offer moral support. But instead of making things better, Charles reportedly became upset and began shouting at his sons, insisting that they were just being paranoid. All of these revelations paint a complicated picture of the relationship between Prince Harry and his father, as well as the dynamic between Charles and his sons. In his younger years, Prince Harry made headlines around the world for attending a party dressed in a Nazi costume, complete with a swastika armband. The photo was published by The Sun, and it emerged that Harry had attended a native and colonial theme party alongside his brother, Prince William. In his recently published memoir, Spare, Harry alleges that William and Kate, who were not yet married at the time of the incident, encouraged him to wear the costume. According to an excerpt obtained by page 6, Harry wrote that he phoned his brother and Kate to ask their opinion on the costume, to which they replied that he should go ahead with it. Despite calling the incident one of the biggest mistakes in my life, Harry places some of the blame on William, as he makes it clear in the book that he strongly feels his brother played a role in the scandal. A senior publishing source who read the memoir told Page 6 that it's surprising Harry would drag his brother into the matter, instead of taking ownership of his actions and moving on. In a now infamous interview with the BBC, Princess Diana famously remarked about her husband Prince Charles's affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, saying, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." While Prince Harry has never spoken publicly about his stepmother or his father's affair, in his new book, Spare, he reveals that he and his brother William urged their father not to marry Camilla in 2005. In the book, Harry writes about his father's marriage to Camilla and the impact it had on him and his brother. Despite their objections to the union, Harry writes that he and William wished their father well and recognized that he was finally going to be with the woman he had always loved. However, the impact of the marriage on the young princes was more complex. Harry writes that he wondered if Camilla would be cruel to me, and feared that she would be like the evil stepmothers in the stories. Meanwhile, William had long been suspicious of the other woman and was tormented by the confirmation of his suspicions. While the marriage marked the closing of another chapter in their mother's story, Harry writes that he and William understood that it was beside the point. Despite the bitterness and sorrow they felt, they recognized that their father was finally able to be with the woman he loved, even if it came at a cost. Overall, Prince Harry's revelations about his father's marriage to Camilla shed new light on the impact the affair had on the young princes, and the complex emotions they felt in the wake of the union. Harry recounts palace disputes over his wedding beard, venue, and Meghan's tiara in Spare. Prior to his 2018 wedding to Meghan, discussions were held about where the wedding should take place, its appearance, and which royal jewels should be worn. Although Queen Elizabeth II gave Harry permission to keep his beard for the ceremony, William was not on board, as per Us Weekly. Harry stated that William wouldn't let it go, and even ordered him to shave, to which Harry retorted that his brother's opinion didn't matter as he had already received approval from the Queen. Harry stood his ground, saying that William could either accept his bearded brother's wedding or not, the choice was up to him. Harry revealed that the selection of a wedding venue was a complicated process. Westminster Abbey was ruled out because it was the site of William and Kate's wedding, and St. Paul's Cathedral was deemed too grand and was also the location of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's wedding. Harry and Meghan's preferred location was Botswana, where they could be barefoot with a friend officiating, but they were expected to share the event with others. As they waited for a decision from the royal decision-makers, they went on a traditional engagement tour. The couple ultimately got married at St. George's Chapel in Windsor in May 2018. Prince Harry revealed that the preparations for his wedding to Meghan Markle were not without their fair share of drama. Before the big day, there were heated debates and discussions over various aspects of the ceremony, including the venue, the royal jewels, and even Harry's facial hair. One of the biggest sources of tension was Harry's beard, which he had grown out for the wedding. While he had received the green light from his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, William was reportedly not a fan and had ordered Harry to shave it off. However, Harry was not willing to give in to his brother's demands, especially since he had already received approval from the Queen. The choice was up to him, Harry wrote. The couple also had their hearts set on a non-traditional location for the wedding, hoping to tie the knot barefoot in Botswana with a friend officiating. However, they soon realized that this was not possible and were forced to settle on a more conventional location. William had ruled out Westminster Abbey, where he and Kate had been wed, and St. Paul's Cathedral, which had been the location of his parents' wedding. Eventually, the couple settled on St. George's Chapel in Windsor, which had personal significance for Harry. Another issue that arose in the lead-up to the wedding was the tiara that Meghan was supposed to wear. The tiara was supposed to be lent to her by the Queen's personal collection, but on the day of the ceremony, the Queen's former senior dresser, Angela Kelly, was reportedly obstructive and unresponsive to calls from Harry and his team. The tiara was only delivered at the last minute, causing unnecessary stress and tension on the day of the wedding. Despite these challenges, Harry and Meghan's wedding was a beautiful and memorable occasion, with millions of people around the world tuning in to watch the ceremony. The couple's love and devotion to each other shone through, and their wedding day will always be remembered as a celebration of their commitment to one another. In addition to his observations about his father's financial support, Harry also reflected on the broader issue of the royal family's wealth and the privileges that come with it. He acknowledged that as a member of the royal family, he had grown up with immense privilege and opportunities that most people could only dream of. However, he also recognized that this privilege came at a cost. Harry wrote that growing up in the royal family meant living in a gilded cage where he was expected to fulfill his duties and serve the monarch, even if it meant sacrificing his own autonomy and personal life. He felt that the expectations placed on him and other royals were unfair and unrealistic, and that the public had an unrealistic view of what it was like to be a member of the royal family. At the same time, Harry acknowledged that he and his family had access to immense wealth and resources that most people could only dream of. However, he also felt that this wealth came with a burden of responsibility to use it for good and to serve others. He noted that he and Meghan had always tried to use their platform to bring attention to important issues and make a positive impact on the world. Overall, Harry's reflections on the issue of money and privilege in the royal family paint a complex picture of a system that offers many benefits but also imposes many restrictions and expectations. He seems to suggest that there is a need for a more balanced and equitable approach to wealth and privilege, one that recognizes the responsibility that comes with these resources and uses them for the greater good. The alleged tension between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton has been a topic of interest for many royal watchers over the years. Although Meghan has always spoken highly of Kate in public, the details that emerged in the book Spare shed light on a behind-the-scenes row that reportedly caused a rift between the two. The incident, which reportedly occurred prior to Meghan and Harry's wedding, centered around a disagreement over the flower girl dresses and the timing of the wedding rehearsal. Meghan allegedly made the comment that Kate must have a baby brain because of her hormones, which apparently upset Kate greatly. While Meghan maintains that the fallout wasn't her fault, the exchange is said to have put a strain on her relationship with Kate. In her interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, Meghan sought to set the record straight about reports that she made Kate cry, revealing that it was the reverse that had happened. Despite the alleged tension, Meghan has also spoken in interviews about the strong bond she shares with her sister-in-law, with whom she reportedly shares similar interests and hobbies. However, the incident serves as a reminder that even within the royal family, personal tensions and misunderstandings can arise. Prince Harry also shared how his wife, Meghan Markle, and sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, were forced to compete with each other. According to Harry, during their first public outing together in 2018, William, Kate, and Meghan were having fun and the atmosphere was positive. However, a controversy emerged after Meghan showed support for the #MeToo movement, which Kate did not follow through her outfit. This, Harry says, put Kate on edge and made her feel like she was now in competition with Meghan. Harry also recounted an awkward moment when Meghan forgot her lip gloss and asked to borrow Kate's. Kate pulled out a small tube of lip gloss from her handbag, and Meghan applied it to her lips. Kate reportedly grimaced, with Harry noting that it was an American thing. These incidents only added fuel to the ongoing rumors of a rift between Meghan and Kate, which had been swirling for years. In the couple's 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan revealed that the press had falsely reported that she had made Kate cry during a disagreement over flower girl dresses. Instead, Meghan claimed that it was Kate who had made her cry, and that Kate had later apologized for the incident. Despite this, tensions continued to exist between the two women, which Harry attributed to the fact that Meghan was a strong, confident mixed-race woman and the opposite of Kate in almost every way. In Spare, Harry also wrote about cultural differences that emerged between Meghan and William. Known for his stoic demeanor, William was taken aback by Meghan's immediate familiarity with him, as she hugged him upon their first meeting, which completely freaked him out, according to Harry. As Harry explained, William did not usually hug strangers, whereas Meghan was more comfortable showing physical affection to people she had just met. When Meghan first met the late Queen Elizabeth II, Harry described the encounter as all very pleasant. The monarch was apparently curious to hear Meghan's thoughts on Donald Trump's first term as president, should he win the 2016 election, as they met in July of that year and the election took place in November. Harry speculated that since everyone in the world was talking about the election, the Queen was interested to hear Meghan's opinion. However, Meghan quickly changed the topic to Canada, where she had previously lived while filming the TV show Suits. This seemed to please the Queen, who reportedly said, "Commonwealth. Good, fine." The wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton was highly anticipated, as William was the oldest son of Diana and Charles and the heir to the British throne. However, as Harry wrote in his book Spare, marriage can alter the dynamics of those around the couple. Harry described the marriage of Kate and William in 2011 as causing a permanent change in their relationship, and referred to it as yet another farewell under this horrid roof and another sundering at Westminster Abbey. According to an excerpt of the book obtained by Us Weekly, Harry believed that the brother he had accompanied to the Abbey that morning was gone forever. He mourned the loss of their shared experiences, such as riding together across the Lesotho countryside with capes blowing behind them and sharing a horsey-smelling cottage while learning to fly. Harry reflected that life had separated them, and they would never be the same again. He writes that he doesn't remember much of the ceremony or his role as best man, as it's mostly a blank in his mind. However, he does recall the moment when the newlyweds walked back up the aisle, and as they disappeared through the door into the carriage that would take them to Buckingham Palace, he remembers thinking, "Goodbye." The prince also mentions seeing his ex-girlfriend, Chelsea Davy, at the wedding. He admits that at one point, he thought she could be the one, but their relationship ended in 2010. Harry says he often worried that Kate would take William away from him, but he consoled himself with thoughts of future laughing fits with a serious girlfriend who could join in. He writes, "Maybe it would be Chelsea." However, seeing Chelsea at William's wedding was difficult for Harry as he felt a certain way about other men trailing after her. Prince Harry, in his autobiography Spare, opened up about the challenges of being in a relationship with an actor, particularly when it comes to seeing their intimate scenes on screen. He admitted to feeling jealousy when watching his then-girlfriend Meghan Markle in the popular legal comedy drama Suits, which launched her into fame. In the book, Harry wrote that he had to seek electric shock therapy to get the sex scenes out of his head. He confessed that he made the mistake of Googling and watching some of her love scenes online, adding that witnessing her and a castmate mauling each other in some sort of office or conference room was something he did not need to see live. For 7 seasons, Meghan played the character Rachel Zane on Suits. The show attracted a large audience, including Prince William and Kate Middleton. In his book, Harry shared that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were regular viewers of the show and would occasionally watch it together. However, Harry was not expecting them to barrage him with questions about Meghan's character and the show, which only added to his discomfort and jealousy. It is not uncommon for actors to perform intimate scenes as part of their job, and it can be a challenge for their partners to watch those scenes play out on screen. For Harry, who was used to living his life away from the public eye, seeing Meghan perform those scenes was a difficult experience. In his book, he shared that he could not help but feel jealous of her male co-stars, even though he knew the scenes were fake. Prince Harry revealed that the decision to have Meghan Markle's character leave the show Suits was partly influenced by her private life. Harry wrote that Meghan had to pack up her house and give up her role in the show after 7 seasons, which was a difficult moment for her as she loved the show, her character, the cast, and crew, as well as Canada. However, he said that life there had become unbearable. According to Harry, the show writers were often advised by the palace communication team to change the lines of dialogue, the characters' actions, and behaviors, which caused frustration. He alleged that the palace comms team had been interfering with the show, which was one of the reasons Meghan decided to leave the series. In conclusion, Prince Harry's latest revelations in his memoir, Spare, have caused a media frenzy with their explosive content. From claims of William's alleged mocking of his mental health struggles to his experience watching Meghan's on-screen sex scenes, the book has shed new light on the personal lives of the royal family. Thank you for watching this summary of the key points from the book Spare by Prince Harry. We hope that you found this summary informative and insightful. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more book summaries and other interesting content. Thank you again for watching.